Veteran of the Week 20, 29 August to 4 September 2022. R85078 Flight Sergeant David Levine. No 1664 Heavy Conversion Unit. Bomber Command, Royal Canadian Air Force. Second World War. R85078 Flight Sergeant David Levine of Swift Current, Saskatchewan was born on the 23rd of October, 1923, in Swift Current to Benjamin and Bella Levine. Before the war, he worked as a clerk in his father's clothing store and was a member of the Regina Synagogue. He originally enlisted in the Royal Canadian Air Force on the 19th of December 1940 in Regina with the intention to be a pilot. He signed up for the duration of hostilities. Unfortunately, he would be discharged from the Air Force a year later, on the 15th of October, 1941, due to becoming medically unfit to continue performing his duties, as he had contracted rheumatic fever. While he had been discharged from duty, he did not let that stop him, as he re-enlisted in the RCAF on the 31st of December, 1942, at the No. 2 Depot located in Brandon, Manitoba. Flight Sergeant Levine then graduated as a bombardier and served with Bomber Command. Flight Sergeant Levine would head overseas for duty in 1943. Flight Sergeant David Levine was reported killed by Air Force Headquarters on the 12th of December, 1944. Levine and 3 other crew members of his Halifax Bomber were killed when their Halifax broke up in mid-air and crashed near Radnorshire, Wales, during a training exercise. Levine was 23 years old. He was buried 6 days later, on the 18th of December, 1944. Flight Sergeant David Levine is buried in Section A, Grave 935 at Chester Locken Cemetery, located in Cheshire, United Kingdom. He is commemorated on page 365 of the Second World War Book of Remembrance that sits in the Peace Tower, and on the Bomber Command Memorial Wall, located in Nanton, Alberta. He also has a lake named after him, Lake Levine, located on the Alstad River. He was well respected in the Swift Current community, as the mayor of the city, James Taylor, wrote a letter of recommendation to the RCAF on David's behalf, stating that he has known David his whole life and that he is of good character. He also states that he comes from a well-respected family in the community. Flight Sergeant Levine is one of the many Jewish Canadians who enlisted and served in the Canadian Forces during the Second World War. This week we honor the service and sacrifice of R85078 Flight Sergeant David Levine of Swift Current, Saskatchewan, who gave his life for King and country during the Second World War. Thank you for your service, Flight Sergeant David Levine, lest we forget.